here we go. Here's the treadmill, and this is the beginnings of what's going to be a treadmill desk. Give you a little glimpse. So my idea is I have some of this old pegboard, and with a jigsaw I can figure out a way to attach it to the handles. I need to create some clearance for the bar right there, so I'm thinking that that's going to have a hole cut somewhere right here to allow that to come through. I will have to clearance this a little bit through here to allow you to get a little closer to the treadmill, and then it's going to still have plenty of a surface here that you can put a laptop and a mouse over here. When I clearance this, that's going to bring that up to a flat work surface. So I know a lot of people who have treadmill desks and love them, and you just set them to a real slow pace and you just walk while you work. So anyway, that will be the very next do-it-yourself project, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun and a good challenge. So here we are back at the treadmill desk. So I've already done a little bit of work here, but I want to show you how I'm going to do this. So what I've done is I kind of put this up here where I thought I might like it, and I just started trying to figure out where I can start cutting it. So I went up here and kind of marked out some lines, and we'll come back in a second and we're going to start showing you how we can cut this out. So the first step is to clearance this bar right here, so we can even begin to figure out how this is all going to go together. So what we have here is the world's cheapest treadmill desk. So that was my mission. Technically virtually free except for what the zip ties we're going to use. But let's say you had to go buy a 4x8 sheet of this stuff. I think it's $12 or so. So we're going to be shooting for a less than $20 treadmill desk, minus the treadmill cost, of course. Anyway, so first you get yourself a treadmill. Now that you have a treadmill, get yourself a piece of board. Anyway, so that's what I've done so far to get us started. The first step is, got our jigsaw there, right? How are we gonna get a jigsaw into here? So what you end up having to do, take yourself a drill, and you're gonna drill in the corner, and that's gonna let us start to get into here, and then we're gonna run a jigsaw up here. So step number one, let's see if I can figure out a way to be my own camera person and do this at the same time. Oh, you see, that didn't take long. We'll do that down here. Boop, boop, boop. Give you a little better shot. That did not take long at all. Doesn't need to be perfect. You see, that just allowed us to get that inside of there. I have some safety glasses on now. Well, that went fairly fast. So now, probably need to do down here too. So I think at the very least, I'm gonna need to be here and here. We can make sure you are well away from the blade. Okay. And we're going to have a final pass this way. So now, you see I'm starting to get close to my hand. I'm going to reposition foot back here. There's the blade. My hand's going to be up here now. Again, repositioning the hand. Okay, so now we have clearanced a hole for the pulse rate meter, and we have a separate pulse rate meter, so we're not going to need to use that, and it's not very good anyway, so we're not going to worry about that bar. Anyway, we'll come back in a second. Okay, so you can see there, that's our initial clearance. It's actually not bad at all. When I slipped it on, the magnet kind of popped off, but I put that there. There's enough room for that, and I can still knock that off if I'm having a problem. You know what I might do is I might go ahead and I'll cut here right up to the circle in here too. That would give me a little more room maybe. I think that might work better. So you'll see, I don't know if you can notice it, but the whole thing is kind of sitting at a slightly down angle. So I think what I'm gonna have to do here is lift this, you know, create something that's gonna lift that up like that, so it can just sit on there and over there. But anyway, you can see how quickly, you know, you could honestly just use it like this. I could just cut myself a little hole right here to get closer to the treadmill, and then you have a work surface here for a laptop, so I'd probably just take off a little bit. You know, it's got a pretty good deck on it, so all I need to do is get about 6 inches closer here, probably maybe up to here. Gives me room to put a laptop, and it can rest here. I have a mousing surface over here, and this would be good for a treadmill desk already. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to figure out where I want to take it off here, and I'll mark that. So looking here, you know, it looks like I have 1, 2, 3 holes past. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 holes past, which would be these guys right here. And it's just that simple. Make a first mark. I'm going to come back and make a nice mark with a straight edge, and we'll cut it. Alright, see, we marked a line here, or maybe you won't see a marked line. Marked a line right here. And I'm just going to take it off with a jigsaw. Give a little better shot here. It's starting to get a little floppy there. So that's that part. And we said we wanted a little better shot on these guys here. Just like cut Thanksgiving turkey. Alright, we're almost there. So be close, be careful, be slow. It's not pretty, but it's quick, and we don't need it to be pretty. I'm not really worried about pretty. Alright, we are starting to look so beautiful here. So what have I done? I went and clearanced this a little bit further. I went ahead and ran a file on it. What's file, Dan? This is a wood file. I looked around for my sandpaper. I couldn't find my sandpaper, but I have a bunch of files hanging on the wall. And so all I did was I took a pass, and you just kind of give a little zzz, 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 zzz on every edge. Makes it a little bit smoother, almost like sandpaper, not quite. We did this cut here. So now if we were really, really lazy, we really technically have a work desk here already. So that looks pretty good. You know what I was thinking is that what I will do is maybe, because it's a little flimsy, and at the same time I could lift it up a little bit, is I'll run a piece of wood along the bottom here, bridging there to there, somewhere right there. I'll screw through the top with nice looking screws into the wood, and that will lift my surface up and also give a little more rigidity to everything. And really, I was thinking I don't even think I need to zip tie it down. I mean, it'll stay under its own weight, especially when it has a little extra wood on there and it has a laptop sitting. It's not going to spring away. Last step will be, figure out how much I need to clearance here, the center. So we'll take it off, a little bit this way, a little bit this way, to clear the belly. Oh, the belly. Hopefully you go away the more I treadmill and work on my desk. Anyway, so there we go. What are we going to do here? So there's my center line, right? So that's where the center of the belly needs to be. So we go to the belly of the beast. Belly of the beast is about this big, about that big. Let's count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look how convenient that is. Hopefully the belly of the beast will go down. The belly of the beast won't be so bad. So let's see what this is going to look like. Bam. Is that going to be enough? It's going to get me that much closer. I think we really need to go up to at least here. Bam. See, these are the things you do when you're figuring it out. Alright. Go over to Mr. Handy Dandy Jigsaw and we'll make this happen. So I'll drill it out here and here so I can turn the corners. And I'll come in here and here, there, and we're done. Alright, so we need to drill these little holes here so we can turn our saw. You have to do one more right there. Go in here. And you know what? I think I was gonna be fancy here. So I'm gonna go see what I plan on doing there. I'm gonna make a little triangle, give myself a real good, so I don't have a sharp edge to bump my belly on. Make sure you don't cut your fingers off. Beautiful, that was a great idea. And they're right. This is still probably not good filing technique. Oh man, so beautiful. It's so beautiful and so simple and so beautiful at the same time. So you know what I might do is I would probably, if I was really diligent, I would put one support underneath here, one support underneath here. That's gonna raise us up. But man, you can see how quickly this whole came together. Bam! Now the belly of the beast can be so close. I can access the treadmill, still have enough room to have a laptop. This is really cool. And for me, this is free because I had this. I have the scrap wood from all my other building projects. But I would say if you had nothing but the tools to cut with, you could do this for less than 20 bucks because you could pick a 4x8 sheet of this up. If you had your basic dimensions, Home Depot, we usually do a couple cuts for free for you, so you could actually bring them the 4x8 and say, look, this won't fit in my car. Give them one of the cuts is exactly what you need here. Have them cut up a couple other smaller strips, and then you can do a handy garage project with your leftover. But this is really cool. Last step is going to be to install my supports, and I'm going to call it a done project. Sweet. Alright, we're back and the saga continues. So we've gotten ourselves a little piece of wood here. So now we're going to cut it out. So I might end up, this beautiful little slot that I ended up cutting out, I might end up just cutting it straight across here and then the other side too, because I realized that right here what it's covering up is some controls. So I'll see if final version I'll probably end up just cutting it off right here and then just having this as the work surface. That's after I went for a walk on it and realized that half the controls were being hidden. These are the kind of things you figure out after the fact. Alright, let's do some cutting. So this was the first purchase of the project. I realized I didn't have any wood, really. I had some plywood, but I didn't really feel like using that. You know, let's go ahead. This is the finished edge, but this is not fancy finished board, so they don't finish it too much. There you go. So you take some of the funk off the board. Alright, so what we're going to end up doing is screwing that right underneath here. So it's going to do two things for us. Something like that. So I'm going to come from the top and screw into it, and it's going to do two things. It's going to raise this up a little bit, because remember the bottom was a little bit too low. And it's also going to add some rigidity to the finished product. So I think what I might do is find some sandpaper and hit this with a little bit of sandpaper before I screw it on, and then we'll be good. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to hit this with some sandpaper. So just got some 100 grit. So we're getting close here. Try to do this without blocking the shot. So first thing first, we are going to make this comfortable for me with a kneeling pad. Okay, now that's that done. Okay, so whatever you're going to do any screwing into wood, you should always pre-drill. So find a drill bit that's smaller than the hole of the screw that you're going to make. You know, you kind of look down the top of it, make sure you can see some threads still from the drill bit. I don't know if I'm not lining this up correctly, but basically I look down and make sure that I can see the screw from behind the drill bit, you know, and I can see threads. Then I know I'm not making a hole so big that the screw just goes right in and falls in. Anyway, if you don't want to split wood, always drill first. We'll do one more over here, and that's going to position everything and hold it in place for us. So we'll get two screws in. Pre-drilled our holes. I love these. These are called SD8s. These are Simpson strong tie. These are actually used to do their clips, but I love the nice finished end. Makes a nice attractive end. Put a couple more screws in and we'll be good. Alright, as you can see here, we're putting on the final finishing touches. I decided to go ahead with a second support, and I went ahead and decided it needed some rubber feet to help protect the finish, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill and install 2 more screws, and we will be done. So just wanted to show you our progress, and it is almost done now. Alright, so here we are, finished product. Treadmill, see all the room we have until we get up to the desk. And we can step in. So far, look at all this. I got a place for my phone, I got a snack place, I got my mouse pad. Look at that. My daughter helped me do our logo. Isn't that beautiful? There's our mouse pad with our logo. So the one thing I'll say is, like, I kind of have to set the computer off to the side here, because then, you know, let's say we want to do quick 2 miles an hour. Treadmill's going. We're walking. And now we can work. So you see here, you can mouse. Let's see here. To go here, I gotta go to my eBay account. What do I have to do? Go to orders, paid and shipped. Oh man, I gotta do feedback, right? I can spend all day doing feedback and walking now. Delivered. We won't click one of these because it'll show some details about people. I don't want to do that. But anyway, I have to spend about an hour a week because I like to thank everybody who places an order on eBay and give them feedback. So it takes a tremendous amount of time every week to go through every order and leave feedback. So now I can go through, like I said, I'm not going to click them because it has a little bit of details about people and I don't want to share. But anyway, you get the idea. You can go through and do work while you're actually going. I got to go in 2 miles an hour, and you can actually be doing your work during the day. So there we go. Minimize that. But anyway, so you can do my feedback. I could do my ordering. I can reply to customer questions. I can create new listings and work on my photos. And look at me, I'm walking. And get rid of the belly of the beast right there. So this is totally functional. Give you a little bit of shot right there. So I could be sitting here working, using the mouse. Get into the treadmill. The buttons. There's some quick access buttons. Maybe you have to put your screen down if you really want to do some complicated things. But really what I do is pretty much you're going to get it going at a low speed so you can comfortably walk and type and do other things at the same time. There you go. This was literally $5 because I'd already had this for my garage organization, and this is what was left over. The $5 came from the furring strip I had to buy for the supports. Had 2 of these, had some leftover rubber lying around, had these screws already. So let's say I had to go to a hardware store and buy all of this. I would say I would get out the door for less than $20 because this stuff is very cheap, this melamine board with the holes in it. So I'm going to call this a success. There you go. 1 treadmill desk. You could walk all day. You can work. Has an enormous working surface. Let's get back on here. See how we can get back on here without killing ourselves. There we go. So anyway, an enormous work surface, a little bit over 3 feet wide for $5. Anyway, it's all about making maximum use of your time and maximum use of your money. So this thing is really cool. We're going to call this a huge success. Bam! Thanks for joining me. Everybody have a good week.